In Arizona, USA, billionaire businessman Lucas Grant was famous for two things: his vast empire and his ruthless attitude. People respected his power but feared his cold demeanor. His life revolved around luxury resorts, high-end meetings, and decisions worth millions. But compassion was something he had long forgotten. On a crisp winter afternoon, Lucas stepped out of an exclusive resort, adjusting his designer coat against the chill. As he walked toward his sleek black car, he noticed a small girl standing hesitantly near the pavement, her clothes worn and her shoes barely holding together. The girl gathered courage and stepped forward, her voice almost trembling as she spoke. "Sir, can you help? My brother hasn't eaten." Lucas paused, staring at her with the same sharp, dismissive look that had scared countless employees. Instead of concern, a smirk appeared on his face. "Play somewhere else, kid. I don't entertain stories." The words hit her like a slap. She lowered her eyes, silently turning away. People passing by looked on, some with pity, some with judgment, but no one said a word. Lucas simply unlocked his car and drove off, his mind void of remorse. Later that evening, Lucas decided to take a shortcut through the woodland road leading to his mountain mansion. The area was quiet, too quiet, but he liked it that way. His mind drifted to work as the tall pines blurred past. Halfway through the stretch, something unusual caught his eye, a small shape near the base of a fallen log. At first he thought it was an animal, but something made him slow down. His headlights spread across the forest floor, illuminating the tiny motionless figure. A strange feeling tugged at his chest. Lucas stepped out of the car, the cold air biting at his face. As he approached, his heart thudded with an unease he couldn't explain. When the small figure came into full view, he froze. Lying curled in the dirt was a tiny Apache child, his clothes ragged, his skin pale, his body trembling with weakness. The boy looked scarcely older than 5. Lucas felt a wave of shock wash over him. The memory of the little girl and her trembling voice hit him instantly, and for the first time in a long time, he felt something unfamiliar: guilt. He knelt beside the child, gently touching his shoulder. The boy stirred weakly, opening his eyes just enough to reveal fear mixed with exhaustion. Lucas swallowed hard, his throat suddenly tight. He had built his life on numbers, deals, and pride, but this small child lying helpless in the cold made all of that feel meaningless. He knew he couldn't walk away, not this time. The child was clearly starving and dangerously weak, and every second mattered. Lucas reached out carefully, lifting the frail boy into his arms. The child's head rested limply against Lucas's chest. For a moment, Lucas just stood there, overwhelmed by a mixture of regret and protectiveness. His breath formed clouds in the night air as he hurried toward his car. He opened the back door and gently placed the boy inside, wrapping his coat around him for warmth. His movements were shaky, but determined. He leaned close and whispered, "You're safe. I'll take care of you." The boy's tiny fingers curled around the coat's fabric, as if clinging to the first comfort he had felt in days. As Lucas climbed into the driver's seat, a strange realization settled over him. A man who had once turned away a little girl in need was now racing through the Arizona night to save her brother. The guilt still weighed heavily on him, but beneath it, something unexpected was growing: responsibility, humanity, and a deep desire to make things right. The engine roared to life, and Lucas sped down the lonely road, determined to give the child warmth, food, and a chance to survive. For the first time in years, his heart felt something real. For 4 days, Lucas dedicated every hour to caring for the young Apache boy. His mountain home, once cold and silent, now echoed with soft footsteps and the quiet sounds of healing. Lucas fed him warm soup, wrapped him in soft blankets, and stayed by his bedside through the nights. He contacted local authorities and nearby tribal offices, hoping someone would claim the child. Each day he checked his phone, but no calls came. Despite the uncertainty, something unexpected was happening. Lucas, the man known for his icy heart, was slowly softening in the presence of the fragile child who needed him. The boy, who had arrived trembling and terrified, began to open up little by little. At first, he barely spoke, watching Lucas with wary eyes. But over time, his fear started to melt away. He clutched Lucas's hand when he walked, leaned against him when he felt tired, and slept peacefully knowing someone was nearby. Lucas felt a tug in his chest every time the boy looked at him with quiet trust. It was a feeling he hadn't known in years: being needed, being depended on. And somewhere deep inside, he found himself wanting to protect the child more than anything. But the silence from authorities and the child's family weighed heavily on him. Lucas wondered who the boy belonged to, what tragedy had separated him from his family, and why no one had come searching yet. On the fourth evening, just as Lucas was slicing fruit and preparing another small meal, a sudden, thunderous knock echoed through the house. Boom, boom, boom. Lucas froze. The boy jumped, startled, and clung to his arm. The knock came again, louder, more urgent. Heart pounding, Lucas gently patted the boy's back and walked toward the door, unsure of who or what would be waiting on the other side. When Lucas opened the door, his breath caught. Standing before him were three Apache women. Their clothing reflected deep cultural heritage, woven shawls, turquoise beads, and earth-toned dresses. Their expressions were strong yet emotional, as if they had traveled a long and painful journey. The cold mountain wind blew through the doorway as they stood silently for a moment. Lucas, suddenly aware of the boy hiding behind his leg, took a step back. The eldest woman stepped forward, her voice steady yet soft. "We are here for the child," she said. "He belongs to our family, and you saved his life." The little boy peeked out from behind Lucas, his small hand gripping the fabric of Lucas's pants. Recognition lit his eyes, followed by a quiver of relief. Then he ran, straight into the arms of the middle-aged woman, who caught him and held him tightly, tears streaming down her cheeks. The other two women wrapped them in their arms, whispering words in their native language. Lucas felt a strange mixture of relief and sadness wash over him. He had grown attached to the child in just a few days, more deeply than he'd expected, and watching him leave tugged painfully at his heart. Before turning to go, the eldest woman walked closer to Lucas. She studied him carefully, as if searching his soul. Then she rested a gentle hand on his shoulder. "You judged a child once," she said quietly, "but when it mattered, you acted with heart." Her words pierced through him, not with shame, but with truth. Lucas stood silently as they walked away, the boy waving at him with a small, grateful smile. And in that moment, Lucas felt something he never expected. A deep sense of respect, redemption, and the beginning of a change he didn't know he needed. The cold man he once was, no longer felt the same.